Well, it's Tuesday.
Yes.
And so we're screwing around here. We're not up in the attic as usual.
We're in the edit room.
We're in the edit room. Karyn's been working on models.
Oh my gosh, yes.
She found a whole new line of models that she's fallen in. They're called what?
Metal Earth.
Metal Earth.
Just these small.
And I'm sure you've seen them in the hobby shops because they're all over the place.
Right, they're about a 5-inch by 5-inch square of metal with all these little tiny parts that makes into a thing.
Yeah, photo etched. But over the years they've gotten more and more complicated, and then they added colors.
Now they're colored. I like the colored ones better because the silver just dazzles my eyes. I can't see what I'm doing after a while.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you want to show us your?
Yes,
let's see Mickey's Fun Wheel here.
I had built a trolley, and I'd mentioned that before, but this is Mickey's Fun Wheel. And this was all just a little flat piece of metal. It has the cars and everything in it. It's quite the setup here.
So it's origami, you know, it's
Yes.
like just flat sheets of metal, and then
You have to
you were
twist
saying
those.
that you have to get the bends just exactly
You have to
right.
get them exactly right because these things are so exacting the way they're put together. If your bend is just off a little bit, not at a 90-degree angle, it won't fit the tabs in.
Yeah.
But if you do get them just precise, you have to look at it really close, they fit right in there.
And if you nail it, you don't even need glue. Although I'll bet nobody's ever, I don't know, because every now and then it's like something doesn't line up quite right and it's going to fall loose, and
Well, or you can't
use
get
a
the
little
tab
daub
twisted.
of super glue. But
Yeah, if I feel like it's the least bit loose or something, I put a little tiny dot of super glue just to make sure it stays put.
But in theory, you could build one of these just by twisting the little tabs and bending everything, and it would all just go
If
together.
you can get them tight enough, they fit really
Now
tight.
you got that pair of tweezers,
I did.
and they came with one of the
One
kits,
of the
right?
kits it came with, yes, and I've kept those. I've guarded them with my life.
Which is great because you really need them, and the other ones haven't come with those. But
No.
you've really got to have some sort of tool
Yes.
for bending the tabs exactly right.
Right, and this is a good flat tweezer with a good broad end on it, so it does. And then I have a pair of little tiny needle nose pliers for where I have to fit them in between and twist.
Yeah,
So.
and then some really good nippers to nip it off of the metal sheets, the tree, if you will.
Yes, right.
Really, really, really good.
Those little tiny fine that get right
Nipper
in there because
job
they're
deal.
joined by a
Yeah.
little itty bitty, just tiny.
Tiny, fractionally like 3/10,000ths of an inch.
yeah.
Tiny.
Yes, I mean if you look really close at those little chairs too, they've got pictures of Mickey Mouse on them.
Yeah.
Is
they're
that
just-
crazy or
everything
what?
is so wonderfully small.
Right, and detailed right down to the,
Detailed.
oh man, yeah.
And
This
what
was
a fun model. And the newer ones, too, are more interesting subjects. When we very first saw these, and you built a Empire State Building.
An Empire State Building, the first one I built was a little trolley. It was like the beginner one. It had one sheet of metal.
Yeah, and it's
some of these,
just,
like the one I'm
just
working on,
a
is
fun little
4.
trolley, and then the Empire State. And that's the first ones that I saw at the hobby shops were buildings generally. But now we're working on a locomotive.
I'm
right
working
now.
on a locomotive right now too, and it's just, it's so tiny. I keep my parts on a plate because as I'm working on the locomotive, like this is the pilot, and I just got done putting the coupler on it. And that one,
I mean, it folds up into an actual knuckle coupler.
yes. Yeah, and that was so small, I did cheat and put a little bit of glue on that just to make sure.
I don't know how.
But this is the wheels and mechanism, and they even have like brake shoes and
Yeah, the brake shoes, brake cylinders.
everything.
Yeah.
Right, so tiny. And but it should make up into a really nice locomotive.
And it's a green boiler jacket, so I approve
Yes,
straight away.
of course.
But the newest ones have all this color printing.
This is what
And
they come in.
yeah, and there it is.
Right, and right now I've got the instructions folded up. It's like 2 sheets of instructions both sides.
Yeah.
But just as an FYI, here's part of it here, as you can see where I've punched out the wheels. But this is what they are, I guess about a 5x5 sheet of stainless steel. It's like working with a razor blade. They can be sharp. I've not been cut so far, I'll knock on wood, but
well, and where you're dealing with such tiny parts, the
Oh,
usual
right.
problem of ding, and
it's gone.
And it's gone.
Right.
It's in the ether. Now, fortunately, they give you some extra parts
sometimes
for something that might fly.
Yep.
But not always.
And then sometimes you have to improvise if it does fly away. I had one part that did, and I didn't find it, but we'll improvise. I think I might have another extra part or two left over, so we'll see if I can figure out if I can remanufacture the part that went. But no, it's I had one part that flew away. That's when I learned my laptop computer has a magnet in it, because I thought I'd lost it completely, and it was stuck to my computer.
Stuck to your computer.
Yeah, so that was good. The computer grabbed it, so.
Well, this is beautiful. It's like a Denver and Rio Grande Mogul.
Yes.
And the printing, they have to use such fine printing, I guess, to do the printing masks. They've always, doing their photo etch, they always had to have super fine masks, almost like you'd use in IC printing.
Wow.
But now they're using those same printers, I guess, to do the color. But the detail of the printing and everything is just unbelievable.
And you can see how these are scored right here, because some of them will have to follow a curve. You know, they can't just be flat. So they'll be curved around.
And then you can just bend it and it just forms into the shape that it's supposed to, like the coupler.
Right. They're already scored, like this right here. We'll fold around to make the cab, but if you look on this side, there's the little scores. So again, if you have your flat tweezers, it just bends right around quite easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a deal, though. I'm giving it a break today. My eyeballs are a little tired because I put two of those together in the last 4 days.
Well, she's just been going at this she loves this.
Yes, it's fun. They're addictive. I'll grant you that much. This one's difficult, and I've got another one that's going to be equally as difficult. It's the depot from Disneyland.
The Disneyland depot in a very, very small scale, because the whole depot is only about that tall.
Yes, it's just teeny when it's put together.
This locomotive looks to be larger than N scale, smaller than HO, about a TT scale for those of you who know about tabletop scale. But just an absolutely beautiful.
It doesn't say the scale on there. I don't think they have scale.
You know, I'm sure they followed a scale, but it's not one of the conventional model railroad scales.
Right.
But I'm guesstimating it to be somewhere around the same as the TT scale, about halfway between 1/60th and 1/86th, perhaps.
Too small. And I went, dear guest, the Empire State Building. It was still bigger to work on.
1,200 foot tall building is about 4 inches tall. So you do the math.
Yes.
Well, you want to show us your Stagecoach?
Yes. Now, which Stagecoach are we looking at? Because I did the little one, and now
the Metal Earth. The Metal Earth
this is kind of comical because I've got the Metal Earth Stagecoach.
Yeah, I got her a Stagecoach for her birthday.
But I'd already gotten this ahead of time. It was kind of comical. They're the exact same Stagecoach.
Well, we realized afterwards that they used the Artesania kit as the pattern for the Metal Earth. It's the exact same, because the luggage is the same, the handles are the same. They just built the Artesania kit and then used that to do all of their scaling off of to build this. But is that thing beautiful?
That is just crazy, yeah.
Your dad carved that.
He did a little Stagecoach.
And that's really neat.
Oh, I've always had a thing for Stagecoaches.
But the detail is just...
It even has chairs on the inside. If you look, there's the chairs are on the inside.
And the lanterns appear to have glass, but it's just the shiny metal.
They've got it bordered in silver.
They've done it in such a way that the borders look like glass. It looks like it's actually... glass that you're actually seeing through it, but in fact it's just a reflection. It's just clever.
Yes.
Everything about it is just clever, but all of the suspension, the leather straps in the suspension and springs, and it's all right there. And they're not expensive.
No.
What was this one, do you recall?
This one was a little bit more money. It was around $14.
Yeah, I mean...
But still,
$14?
Yeah, it's a hobby. I mean, you know, for your hobbyist, but it just amazes me.
You can't buy a plastic model for that. That's just... And it just builds up into such an absolutely gorgeous model.
Right.
Well, anyway, there we have it. Karyn's new hobby of building Metal Earth. They are apparently in Seattle.
Right.
And we're hoping that when we find ourselves next in Seattle, we might be able to drop in. I'd love to see their etching system.
Yes. How do they etch that?
Super fine
and paint it.
Photo etching, and then the colors that are printed on.
Right.
probably
amazing.
before. I don't know. Probably after. It would have to be after they etch, and then because they're probably etching from both sides.
Yeah,
and,
and the detail. I mean, there's even little letters. If you look, it says U.S. mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, just amazing.
Yeah. It's just like a Wells Fargo Stagecoach.
Exactly.
So good. So
Really, really beautiful.
well. Anyway, there you have it. Well, if you haven't been over to the channel, do pop on over to the channel. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It helps us out, but it'll help you out because then you'll be notified every time we upload something.
Exactly.
Which is usually Sunday and Tuesday, but sometimes it's random.
Right.
And you just never know. So you want to know.
Right.
So here's your opportunity to subscribe. Are we ready for it?
We are
the
ready.
blue button.
Here we
You
are.
ready? Zoing!
Over there.
Over there.
Over there. Over there.
Well, we're not sure how you found this movie on the internet, and we hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you here on Sunday when we do that deal, some driving around
Yeah.
deal thing. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.